Hey, Tony Guys is here. Hey, I want to pop in because I've been getting a lot of emails from all kind of people about this, about copywriting. Now, whoever created this copywriting course need to be ashamed of themselves because this ridiculous amount of emails that I'm getting. But it got me to thinking because I'm getting emails from people who English not even their first language. And they offering to do copywriting for me and barely speak English, let alone understanding my dialect from my region, my area, my voice inflection, my style. And whoever did this copywriting course need to be either given a award or put in jail, one or the other, because this is a ridiculous amount of people sending emails saying the same thing. I'm going through emails and I'm getting emails all different email addresses. I'm like, how these people even know who I am? But let me tell you. And what they do is they watch a video and then they write you saying they could help you with your copywriting. And for one, you can't help them with copywriting. You only watch one video. It take years to study somebody's brand, to know how to write in their voice, to sell somebody on something, or at least about 10 hours of conversation for one. Two, the other thing I want to let y'all know who's taking the course, you one of thousands of people taking this course. And y'all sending about the same script. Y'all sending, I say about for the people who English not your first language, you sending almost the same script as everyone else. But the other thing what I wanted to say on this is one things I noticed is a lot of Black creators being targeted. And the reason why a lot of Black creators are targeted in business, in all different arenas of business, and even with sports and everything, the reason why Black people are targeted oftentimes by other races is because we're seen as easy money. Because most often we know very little about what we're doing. So if you pay attention, you'll see an NBA player you'll see a 6'8" NBA player paying a 5'9" white guy to teach him how to play basketball better. And the reason why that is because the Black guy say, hey, I'm big and naturally athletic, but this white guy is smarter than me. He knows more about the game than me. He's actually done the work, is what he's telling himself. When really, they rarely getting better. They going through the motion, they doing the work they could have did, and it's money that they could have paid their homeboy or their brother to put them through the workout. All the workouts could have been found on YouTube, and they could have actually fattened the pockets of somebody they know and love. Because essentially they dribbling around cones and they dribbling around stuff, and all of it on YouTube. Because people making tens of thousands of dollars on a month from YouTube. Now I ain't hating nobody business, and the same thing what I see with a lot of Black people now who got millions of dollars taking and putting their money into real estate investment trusts of white people that they think are smarter than them, when the men that they investing into no more smarter than them. They read some stuff on Google, they watched some stuff on YouTube, but they took the extra step to hire an attorney, which they probably finessed and gave them a piece of the deal, and got a CPA and say, hey, y'all do the research to find out how I set up a real estate investment trust, a REIT, and then I'm gonna go to these dumb black athletes and to the dumb black multi-level marketing people. This what they saying now. I ain't calling you dumb. This how they looking at you. That's why, because they wouldn't never even want to talk to you. Was not your friend in high school. Don't even like your kind. And if you take the time and you listen to these people videos, you do a little research, you look at their family, you look at their friends, you're gonna realize that you are the brunt of a lot of their jokes. Talk down to you, think you dumb, but yet preying on you because you done come into some money. And that's why, and that's one thing, and I don't understand how people don't see it, but it's really I get how you don't see it, because it's a self-hate thing. I got white guys I know who are millionaires, and some gonna be billionaires, and I know just from talking to them, they don't know more than what I know in what I do. They don't know 10% of what I know. But a lot of times people think it's like, okay, how you got to be a pro athlete to make millions of dollars? You did that. So now why you finna take and spend $10,000 a month on somebody who can't sniff the league? Somebody who couldn't pay the league to let them get in the league. At least if you're gonna spend that money, at least spend it with somebody who you know can do what you do or do better. Do what you do better. So it's totally different. It's like you want to get married and then you hire a single person to help you get married. Yeah, they know a lot about relationships, but it's a whole lot of lessons in marriage that you learn that you don't learn in single life. But if somebody married and they making it work and they happy, they got a whole lot more lessons to teach you to help prepare you for marriage. The same thing with this here real estate stuff and with this copywriting stuff. It's like people emailing and I'm like, do I look dumb? I guess I look dumb. How you think I got an academy with 38,000 students? Why would I need your copywriting services? I mean, you ain't built nothing. You got to build something. Okay, your copywriting work, then copyright. Copyright for yourself. Copyright on your website. Create you a course on copywriting and then outmarket the person who sold you the copyright course. But I'm getting so many emails, and I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. It's disrespectful. And that's why I'm on here, because I'm upset, because I have people email me, and for one, it's not a lot of black companies it's not a lot of black companies that, like in tech companies and stuff like that. It's no black companies that email me about, hey, promote this or promote that. I just got an email that I was seeing today from a podcast of some young ladies, and they black women, and they offered to pay me for the podcast. And that was very flattering, because typically people don't get paid to go on podcasts. But I seen that and I'm like, that's real nice of them, to even offer that. But see, that's respect. It's saying, hey, this is a professional. This man done built a brand. We asking this man to come on our podcast. He don't do a lot of podcasts. The association with a brand that is established could help give us credibility. We need to pay something for this to happen. And I respect that. Do you know it's so many companies started by other races, other nationalities that come and literally, I seen something the other day, the man said, we want to run advertisements, put advertisements on your Facebook page that I built by myself. I done made every post on that Facebook page by myself. My business partner, who I went to high school with, he made like my first 2 posts. My first 2 or 3 posts he made and had typos in them. I said, man, delete that, man. Let me run my page. He set up my email list for me, and he's a white guy. And so they'll know some stuff because they're in a different industry. But you got to make sure stuff is fair and legit. And even with my business partner, we done had some unfair deals, and I let them know about it. But when I do an unfair deal, it's because I'm desperate. So I did unfair deals in desperate times, desperate measures. Had to feed my baby boy who was just born. So I did desperate deals, dumb deals. And I'm here to warn y'all, listen, do everything you can on your own. Go as far as you can on your own as long as you can. And you'll surprise yourself. I built the 7 figures a year on my own. Get as far as you can. I built the over 3 million followers online on my own. Get as far as you can on your own. And when somebody comes to you with an offer, it needs to be a win-win offer. It needs to be a win-win. It got to make sense. And you need to have a board. What I mean by that is have you a few people that you run it by. If you are on TonyGasselsAcademy.com, then that means you are a student of mine, a supporter of mine, even if you took a free course. Before you get ready to sign a deal, before you get ready to hire somebody, send an email in. Say, hey, I got an offer from a social media manager for X amount of dollars per month. Does it sound fair? Do not sign up with them till you get a response. If you don't get a response within 3 business days, forward it again. If you don't get a response in 3 business days, put it in the comments on YouTube about what you've been quoted, because it's too much scammery out here. I remember a young lady came to me. I was ghostwriting books at the time for $10,000. This young lady knew of me, knew all about me, then watched my brand, followed me. But because I'm country, she went to somebody else who probably taught proper, got a college degree, charged her $10,000 to write her a book, never wrote a book. And then came to me, poor mouthing. Oh, I done paid $10,000. All right, that's what you get. This person that you went to, have they published the book? No, but she sounded good, like she knew all about the industry, what she was doing. So she haven't published a book. She don't got a brand of her own. She have not done anything she telling you she could do for you. You give her $10,000 because she look pretty, sound good, got a degree, and then you come to me, who supposedly poor, dumb, and country, and you want me to work for free. Do I look like Boo Boo the Fool? Try me like a baser. Y'all know what a baser is. It's like a drug addict, free basing. It's a drug use. When you go up to a baser, nasty people go up to a baser and be like, hey, wash my car for $1. And that baser will wash that whole car. That baser will wash a F-250 for $1. And that's why when I say don't try me like no baser, that's what I mean. It's just a little term from where I'm from in Florida. And so I look and I see this and I'm like, man, we out here getting played. And look at the record deals that black people signing, the business deals black people signing. The guy wrote me, here I am, got a Facebook page with 1.8 million people. For one, they try to hack the page all the time. They try to hack the page and steal the page because they send in an email saying your page is going to be taken down for violation of copyright. Click this link to get your page in right standing. They don't even realize that I don't even have a Facebook page to that email address. But because it's a public email address, they assume that email address is connected to my Facebook page. And so that's the first dead giveaway, but they think I'm dumb and it don't work for people. I knew a young lady. She was of color. She had them built the quote page to like 8 million followers and got it hacked. It got hacked and sold to a big brand. It took her months to get it back. She thought it was me who hacked it because I had just got into her with it like a week into her, about like a week or two before I had just checked her by posting my quotes without crediting me. And so then, and not long after that, her page got hacked. So probably thought it was me because she called me and asked me about it. And I was like, did you get an email and click a link? And she was like, yeah, that's what I did. It took a while to get her page back. But that's how people do us. And because, listen, most black people, wherever you from, if you look back in your lineage, you look back in your history, a lot of times you coming from slavery. A lot of times you coming from slavery. And so coming from slavery, then not being afforded an education, not being afforded equal and fair treatment, you go through things to where we are behind the 8 ball and we slower in a lot of areas and we don't know a whole lot. And one thing I'm gonna tell y'all is that Google got a lot of answers. Like when I needed a consultant, I went to Google. When I needed help, when I needed staff, I went on these sites that these people have created and I spent $5 to get something done. But then so many people come to me and was like, yeah, I talked to a young lady. Here I am, got a life coach certification course. And you could see I done built the brand. But I don't really market it like that. I don't really market and promote it like that because I don't like selling stuff like it's gold. Even though I know it's quality, I don't like overselling. But when I tell you, our Caucasian brothers and sisters do not mind overselling something. They will oversell something to no end. And that course could have no substance. That course could be a complete sham and they do not mind overselling. Young lady came to me. She took the course of 2 ladies, paid $4,000. These ladies ain't got no brand. These ladies ain't built nothing for themselves. These ladies ain't got no reputation, but creating a course and doing a whole lot of marketing. Did a whole lot of search engine optimization, a whole lot of Google ads, and charging $4,000 and getting thousands of people to take their course. Probably making 4 million plus, probably making 12 million a year off a course, but it really ain't got the proof in the pudding. And then the guys, they'll come to me. They'll come to me. Let us run your Facebook ads. How much? Oh, $6,000 a month. What? $6,000 a month? Is you crazy? So what exactly are you doing on these Facebook ads? They done took somebody's course who didn't know what they was talking about, or they done took the Facebook course that Facebook gave you for free, or Facebook got one with a price on it. One of my clients told me like $1,600, and then they want to charge $6,000 a month. And then let me tell you what they do. They go into your system. They go to Fiverr. They spend $5 and they get an ad made. They get an ad made. They go into they ask for ad manager access. They go into the ads. They set up, they put that $5 flyer in there or that $5 video, and then they choose the audience that they want it to go to. Want it to go to Americans, want it to go to women, want it to go to ages 35 to 44, and they hit submit. And they watch and see how it do. It take them 5 minutes to set that ad up, and they'll charge you $6,000 a month. And then we will sit here and wonder how this man got a Lamborghini, how this man on private jets, how this man doing this and that. These people will take and start a real estate trust, and they'll get you to dump your life savings in there. And in the fine print, they get 10% off the top. So if you get them $1 million, they taking $100K off the top, or they get 5% off the top. And then in the return on investment, they taking the lion's share, and out of the what's left over, you splitting the return with 10,000 other people. When you could have took your money, 5,000, your 10,000, your 50,000, your 100,000, your 1 million, and bought your own real estate. You could have got into your own real estate. You could have got your colleagues, you could have got your family, and y'all could have pooled y'all money and bought duplexes, bought single family, all of that. You could get all the knowledge right off Google, where they got it from, right off YouTube, where they got it from, and done all that yourself, and got the lion's share yourself. If you did it yourself, or if you did it with your friends and family, y'all could split it equally, versus giving your money to somebody else, and off the top, they getting a piece of it, of your investment, off the top. But it's in the fine print. You don't even see it. You don't even see it. And then you entrusting them and their team to make the right choices. But if they operating from greed, they're gonna take gambles with your money that you would not take. And guess what happened when you gamble? You eventually lose. You lose most of the time. So now you done gave your money to these people. They taking and gambling with your money, finna lose your money, and all that in the fine print too. Ain't nothing you could do about it. When you literally could have went to your credit union and took that money, did you a down payment, and got you your own duplex because of the relationship you got with your credit union. Got it as a second residence, or got it as an investment property. Got it set up how you need to have it set up. Just getting the knowledge for free on YouTube, the knowledge for free on Google. You ain't even got to pay for no course. You could go to your credit union and sit down and talk with the loan officer and say, tell me what you need from me so that I can purchase a duplex as an investment property. What do your underwriters require? And they will tell you everything you need to do. They'll tell you everything you need to do. You could go down to the survey office, go down to your city, and you sit and talk to them people, and they'll tell you, well, this property you looking at got a lien on it. It's sitting on this type of land. It's 80% wet land. You got this on there. You got that on there. I don't know about that one. Just like that. Go and build a relationship. But we, as black people especially, a lot of times trust people because of the color of their skin, and don't realize that you trusting them because of the color of their skin, because you were made to hate the color of your skin. And it's a tough conversation for white people to hear. And that's why, and I ain't talking to you white people. And so if you get offended, scratch your booty and get glad. I got to talk to the oppressed, to the people that's being taken advantage of. And if you white and you not taking advantage, then you need to help people stop getting taken advantage of if you're not the one taking the advantage. But I'm telling y'all, these people out here preying on you because they think you dumb. And when you just dump all your money in there. You give them all your money. Do you know it was an Asian woman? And you look at the history between Asians and blacks, it ain't best friends. Chinese and black, it ain't best friend. Arab and black, it ain't best friend. Ain't nobody been the best friend of black people. In any way, you Mexican and black, Puerto Rico got black in them and be looking down on black people sometimes. It's like when you take the black race ain't really had no friends. Now the white race is different. It's a lot of Asian women want them a white man. A lot of Mexican women want them a white man. It's a lot of black women today want them a white man. And them been white men have been some of the most vicious men on the face of the planet since human existence. That's just the facts. That's just the facts. Look at the power structure. Look at the claim of the land. Look at what happened to the Native Americans. Like, that's just a fact. I'm not racist. I'm just real. I just look at it like it is. And so when you look at the power dynamics and you look at this here structure, you see a lot of minorities being taken advantage of in these business deals. And the podcast that wrote me, I clicked on a link and they interviewed this young lady, and she says she's not a fan of stores. Not putting her product in store, because she says she want all her money. And I ain't mad at her. Now, a lot of times people will say that when they don't have the opportunity to be in a store. Same thing, I've heard many people say that they don't want a publishing deal until they get a publishing deal. But they say they want all their money, and it's really because they didn't know how to get a publishing deal. And they had too much pride to ask, how do you get a publishing deal? I done seen that with big time speakers and other, influencers, but they're afraid to just ask me, how did you get your publishing deal with Simon & Schuster? Because they think that I'm their competition or that I'm competing with them, and that I'm not going to tell them how I got the book deal when I tell a stranger this. And then the next thing I know, they got a book deal because they met somebody who told them, hey, you got a book deal. Like, oh, thought you didn't want no book deal. Thought you wanted all the money. But see, that's the same, because that's the same thing I used to say when I couldn't get a book deal. Oh, I don't want no book deal. I want to be self-published. But deep down, you might want that book deal. And guess what? The people know that. The people know that. So listen, that's why you see these young artists. You good, you talented. You good and you talented. But it's going to take you a while to catch on. But you close. The record label, they see the talent, and they come and offer you $250,000 signing bonus. And your account got $200 in it. But they finna own 90% of your revenue. You're going to get 10%. And that 10% going to be paid to you minus the expenses. So if your album make $1 million, they're not going to count $100,000 toward your $250,000 advance that you got to pay back. They finna take that $1 million in profit and say, well, 90% of this is ours, so you actually only made $100,000. And then your split of it is 10%, so you actually only made $10,000. But you don't get this $10,000 because we gave you a $250,000 advance. So thank you for that. You still owe us $204,000. That's how they do you. Same thing they do in the book industry. They do the same thing in the book industry. But because we ignorant to it, because we did not think to Google and see how it worked, because somebody that already got ticked off and wrote an article about it. It's the information out there. It's on Google. It's on YouTube. But we don't take the time. That's why, remember the quote that said, if you want to hire something from a black person, put it in a book. That's why they say that. And so these people, they'll come, and this man offered me 10%. He said, I want to put advertisements on your videos, on the 1.8 million followers you done amassed on Facebook by yourself. And I want to come put advertisements on your videos, and I'm going to give you 10% of your hard-earned digital real estate. I'm finna give you 10%. What? Do I look crazy? Obviously so. And you know why? Because they done got other people like that. They had other, in their client list, they had mega black celebrities in their client list. I say, I know these people ain't happy, but guess what? Them mega celebrities will have somebody who don't look like them, who they think smarter than them, in charge of that. And that person will work out a deal, the good old boys deal. They will work out a deal because they of the same race. So they'll say, hey, I get my client to sign up with your company, but you got to pay me $50K up front. They'll get, boom, they'll get broke off. And the client that's making the millions of dollars, that's the whole talent, don't even know that. I go to, as a black man, I go to black professional athletes with a business opportunity when my business is 99% profit. I go to, if I don't write off stuff, if I go to somebody with a business opportunity, they don't want to hear the second sentence. But they will go, these black men will go to a white man and take any and every deal they put on the table and get scammed and then end up on that documentary broke. Google that, documentary broke, and watch all of these black men on there crying about being broke because they financial advisor, they tax person, they manager took their money because they thought the person was smarter because they could talk proper, because they got on a suit, or because of their race. And we being preyed on. Our insecurity and our self-hate is being preyed on. And you being taken advantage of, and you being overcharged for no reason. And it's because you didn't want to take the time to do the due diligence to Google for yourself, read 10 different articles, read every article that come up, Google it in a different way. Different articles gonna come up, meaning just change some words around. Read all the articles on the first page. Read all the articles on the second page. Go type it in on YouTube. Type it in a different way on YouTube. Type it in a third way on YouTube and on Google. And get all of the information for yourself. Then go to the table and listen to what these people talking about. And I done learned this is a simple process. When I go to the car dealership, they know you don't know nothing about that car. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in there. So what they tell you, oh, so yeah, your car, we recommend this filter change and that filter change and this right here, that right there. I said, what you recommend? So, okay. I go right to Google. When do I need a fluid differential flush or whatever they be done said? It'll pop in or I put the year of my car, the make of my car, when does a 2020 Escalade or whatever car it is need a AC flush or fuel differential flush or whatever the word that they say, it pop up right at the top of Google. Boom, in bold letters. The 2020 such and such needs to have the differential fluid flush at 50 to 60,000 miles. And I'm sitting in there with my car at 20,000 miles. And that's why they have loose term to say we recommend. But when you say, well, is the car gonna break if I don't accept? Oh, no, you're totally fine. It's just something we recommend. Why would you recommend something if I don't need it? Because they don't care about your livelihood. They don't care about your bank account. They don't care that you taking food out your children's mouth right then. They're gonna tell you, hey, this is what we recommend. But you gotta ask the question, do I need this? Is it absolutely needed right now? This is what you telling me. And then you Google it. You YouTube it. And guess what? Somebody making a living from blogging or YouTubing, and in order for their content to be classified as good, they got to give you the real sauce. They can't give you no play information and keep you coming back to their blog or to their YouTube. So they telling you all the game. They telling you the whole game inside and out, where you ain't got to pay a dime to get the game. And then when you go back with just this much knowledge and you ask a question with this much knowledge, boy, their face turn red. They go to stuttering. Man came to me recently. They want to do Facebook ads for me. I said, well, how much y'all charge? He said, well, we charge $2,000 per ad. I said, about how long it take to set the ad up? I said, when you go into the system. So it just takes 5 minutes. Okay. So you finna charge me $2,000 a month to set up a 5-minute ad, 30-minute ad? And then how many of these ads? Well, we try to run 3 to 6 of them at a time because you want to split test them. You want to have a different one. So you want to pay $12,000 a month for you to post a flyer and then boost it to a certain audience? Oh, well, we do retargeting and we do, we get your pixel, and they try to use words you ain't never heard of to try to sound like they really doing something for you. But when you really look at the people and you really see, you're like, okay, well, what have you accomplished in your life? What have you done in your life? What are you doing with your life other than selling people this snake oil? Like, what are you doing? And then you get to realize, like, you know what? It's people literally that's selling people on real estate investment, and they will tell you in their story they was a crackhead. They say, yeah, I was on crack. I was snorting powder and shooting up. And well, I'm glad you done changed your life, but I ain't finna give you a dime. Because I come from the streets. I know how a relapse work. You're not finna wake up one day and want to relapse with my money. God bless you. I'm going to root for you, pray for you, your NA classes, your AA classes, your 12-step. God bless you. I'm not giving you a dime. God bless you, though. Hey, build your real estate portfolio for you and your family. Okay? And if you want to teach me, make a course that is affordable, and I consider that course. But I'm not finna put my life savings into your real estate investment trust when you used to sell cars. Now, you used to be a car salesman. What you know about real estate? You don't know nothing more about real estate than I know if you used to sell cars. What you know about is selling. Because a car salesman is the greatest salesman in the world. You know about selling. What you know about real estate? You used to sell crack. And you went to prison for selling crack. Oh, you know about selling. You don't know about real estate. Now, if your granddaddy was a real estate mogul and your daddy was a real estate mogul, and now you in real estate, okay, now I can listen to what you talking about if you ask me for $100,000 to put in your trust. And even then, I got to look and see your lifestyle. Oh, you curse like a sailor. You ain't got respect for kids. You curse too much. Your mouth too filthy. You don't process the words that's coming out your mouth because you talking too filthy, and that language is not accepted very well. Oh, you in the strip club. You ain't smart with your finances if you're in the strip club. Oh, you got all the luxury. You got a private jet, but you ain't Bill Gates. You ain't Warren Buffett. You ain't got that much money, but you got your own private jet. You got all kind of, I done seen 3, 4, 5, $250,000 watches on your wrist. It ain't that much profit in the real estate because if you got a apartment complex and people paying $1,500 a month, it ain't but so much profit off that $1,500. And if you're splitting this with thousands of people, the real estate market ain't that good for you to have all these jets and all these $250,000 watches now. So hold on now. And you used to snort powder. So I'm like, why can't we see this? But you know what? I noticed a lot of the black people that invest in it, they used to snort powder. So they're not judging. They used to strip. They used to sell cocaine. They used to, I done did some things too, but it's like, listen, I know what it take to change. So I'm gonna be very careful before I just go and give my hard-earned money to somebody that don't have all the change sold up. If they still doing other things that represent poor choices, bad character, hold on now. I don't know now. I don't know now. Pause. Got to pause. And this is not happening. And we've been taken advantage of. And when you think about it, it's a lust for money. It's a lust for greed. And I could easily do it. I could easily sell my life coach certification. Because listen, I got nice things, that I have paid for. And I go into debt. I make my own bed. But I don't try to ask you to lay in the bed I made. So imagine if I took and I'm gonna be transparent with you, just so you can understand what I'm saying. Now I may start a car page one day, but not to sell nothing. So I have a Bentley, and the MSRP on that Bentley is $265,000. So, but I've never showed you my Bentley. I've never did a walk around on my Bentley. I've never showed you the interior. I've never did like a car tour of my Bentley. My daddy got my Bentley right now. I bought my daddy a Maserati. The MSRP on his Maserati probably $145,000. And I had a G-Wagon that I just sold because I got $100,000 equity in it. That G-Wagon right now selling for, the company I sold it for tried to sell it for $180,000. When I bought it, I paid, I think, $170 for it in 2020. So if I take a Bentley, a Maserati, because I bought it from my daddy, but it's in my name. If I take a Bentley, a Maserati, a G-Wagon, I got a Sprinter, I bought it for $150,000. They selling the same one today because of the shortage for $250,000, $300,000. I bought it brand new, 44 miles on it. I got a brand new Escalade. The markup crazy on it. That's why I told y'all on the Patreon, I wrote y'all, say, do not buy a car right now. Because that car probably cost me $150,000. But the MSRP probably $105,000 or $115,000. It's the highest level of the Escalade. And it's a 2022. I got a convertible Benz that I bought my wife, a C300 AMG convertible Benz. I got a red eye. Now, at this point right now, you tired, you exhausted. But let me ask you, I'm sharing this with you to make a point. Now, that red eye, I paid $107,000 for it. They selling them for $150,000 though. It's not a red eye. It's called a super stock. So it's higher than a red eye. It's a wide body kit, a red eye. It's on the Hellcat red eye, but it's a super stock. So it got 807 horsepower instead of 797 horsepower. Them tan seats that you see when I'm talking, that's when I'm in my super stock. It's called a super stock. They only made 198 of them. I got one of them in 2021. So that's going to be a collector's item that I'm going to be able to sell for $1 million in 50 years. Or I could sell it for $500,000 in 30 years. And so if I took and lined my cars up and created me an ad, how much money you think I could raise for my real estate investment trust? How much money you think I could raise if I line them cars up? And when you see these men, that's what they doing. They showing you a jet. I don't have a jet, but I have flown on private jets that I have paid for. And I've flown on private jets that I did not pay for. I could take that video footage, walking up to that jet, get on that jet, and shoot me an ad that I put on YouTube. I've never done that. As many times as I've been on a jet, I ain't never turned that jet ride into an ad. But that's what these people doing. They taking their cars, and all the cars I just listed to you, you ain't even know that. You ain't even know that. I don't talk about it. I don't brag about it. I don't show it off. And as soon as somebody gets something, as soon as we get something, we want to show it off now. We want to show it off. But I'm making a point to you to say, I don't lead with lifestyle and I don't lead with money to sell intentionally. I don't do that because it's deceptive. Because whether I pay for something in cash or whether I finance it, that you taking my course is not going to guarantee you that lifestyle. It's not going to give you that lifestyle. It's hard work. It's going to take a lot more than you taking my life coach certification course. Now, you take that life coach certification course, yeah, it's going to give you the basis on how to start your coaching business. And yeah, you're going to get out there and you could get you some clients and you can make you a little money. But to get $500,000 or more in vehicles, that ain't from life coaching. Yeah, it's going to take a lot more than just life coaching. It's going to take a lot more than putting $1 million into real estate. It take a lot more than that. So let me tell you how these people get their money. Like with the real estate investment trust. Let me tell you how they get their money. They take and they finance or they buy, get a little bit of something. They show it to you. They show you that G-Wagon. They show you that Lamborghini, or they show you that jet. They show you what looks like success, and you say, I want a piece of that pie, so let me give you my hard-earned money. And so if they go to 10 people and get $1,000 from all 10 of those people, they just got $10,000. If they get to keep a percentage off the top, just for selling y'all, that's what they get to reward themselves with, for selling y'all. Not for getting y'all a return on investment on your real estate. Because the real estate they go buy with your $1,000, getting ready to bottom out right now, getting ready to crash in this recession we going into. And so your money finna be lost. But they profitable. They recession proof because they charging you. So you keeping them afloat. They recession proof. They ain't got to worry about going broke. Yeah. All the real estate could fail, but it ain't their money. It's your money. It ain't their money. They the mouthpiece. So they not hurting because they profit whether you win or lose. They profit because they get money off the top. They get money off the top off the investment for owning the trust. The trust get to keep some of the money. The founder of the trust get to keep some of the money. That's in the fine print. And whether it's legal or not, there's loopholes. They're going to find that loophole. And at the return that they get from the real estate, they get the lion's share off the top. So they taking your money and they buying low if they can, and they selling high. But they'll get more profit from the sale than you get because they getting profit from the whole sale. So if they buy a complex for 30 million and they sell it for 50 million, it's a $20 million profit. So they gonna get 10% off 20 million. They finna get 2 million. But you are one of 5,000 investors. So now off that 18 million, you get your share. If you at 0.001%, they got 2 million and you getting a check for $45. That's how that work. That's how that work. Now, had you took your $10,000 and bought you a $50,000 place, like the first place I bought, cost $45,000. It was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in Tampa, Florida. Already had a tenant in there. So just like that, $45,000. She was paying, I think, $750 a month. Zillow says she's supposed to be paying $1,000 a month based on that. But you take your $10,000 instead of putting it in somebody else, you go get to own your little house. Now, of course, real estate done went up now, but it's getting ready to come back down. Most likely. Can't say for sure. But you get in position, now you own that. Now you renting that out. Or you fix it up and you could flip it. And so now if you take this if you get you $100,000 place and you come into the right season where you could sell it for $200,000, now you got that $100,000 profit. Instead of being one of 10,000 people that got to split $100,000. That $100,000 profit divided by 10,000. Good luck buying you some dinner with that 15-cent check you getting. You see what I'm saying? And so that's what you have to understand, is that black people, especially today, being preyed on because of your hustle ability, because of your ingenuity, so listen, look at what I done built without a college degree, without a mentor, without a team, no publicist, no manager. Look what I have built. So I look undeserving being a country boy and running a business, running multiple businesses and successful and got a few bells and whistles to celebrate the success. I look unrightfully privileged. So people who got a good talk game but ain't did no work, ain't built the whole lot for themselves, could come and talk me out my money. And I could assume, just like on the little test that they did, the little study they did with the black kids, and they said, which baby is the prettiest? And they picked the white one. Which baby do you think is bad? They picked the black one. Which baby do you think gets in trouble in school? They picked the black one. Which baby do you think is the nicest one? They picked the white one. Them kids was conditioned and programmed to hate the skin that they in. So we'll spend all our money, we'll give all our money. And that don't mean that people look like you as good people. That ain't what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you got to vet people regardless of their race. And you can't just give somebody your money because they of a different skin color. You can't just hire somebody because they of a different skin color. You can't just date somebody or marry somebody just because of their skin color. Because you don't really like your color or your race, and so you think that race is better. You got to look at really what people have done and see who gonna know something about some business. And it might be a white person, it might be an Asian person, but you need to know that they worth their weight in gold and that you have vetted them and you really have looked at the numbers, and so that you can see. So it's like this right here. Listen, if I see a black woman and she do graphic design, and I see a white man and he do graphic design, if they on the same level, got the same pedigree, I'm gonna hire the black woman because she comes from a marginalized group. She being judged. She's being mistreated. Now, if the white man is better than her, I'm not just gonna hire her and get lower quality work and hurt my business and brand just because we the same race. Cause that it ain't about just that. Now, if it's just a little bit less and I want to be a blessing and help somebody who has been marginalized, discriminated against, help give them a leg up, then that's different. But now I'm not finna hurt myself to quote unquote help somebody when I don't know the character or the integrity of this person, and I'm just picking them just because of their skin color. That wouldn't be wise either. But what I'm noticing today is that when black people find a little bit of success, all of our money is being taken. And by people who don't know what they're doing, who don't have the success we done built, and who can't build it. But because of whatever advantage they have that we perceive, they able to come and take the hard-earned money we done work for. And the same thing is set up with this government too, because when you look at it, who are the majority of pro athletes making the most money? It's black men making the most money. Now, baseball is a little different. But guess what? Off the top, they got to get a government 50%. You know why? Because they're not able to be paid as a business. They're not able to be paid as a business. They have to be paid as an individual. So all of the gas they spending, all the money they spend on their body, they can't write that off. They get write off a little something. They might get write off a little bit, but they can't do the same write-offs that Warren Buffett can do, that Bill Gates can do. And where Warren Buffett say he paid less taxes than his assistant, pay less taxes than a school teacher. Because that's how it's set up, to where, and that's why they don't let pro athletes form a S corp to be paid to a S corp. They don't let their contract be paid to a S corp or be paid even to just a basic LLC. They don't let them get paid like that. They get paid as an individual so that they can be taxed on that money. And they talk about it and they tell you, yeah, half of it. So you see somebody sign a $200 million contract. No, that's a $100 million contract. They ain't $200 million. You see somebody sign a $1 million contract. No, that's a $500,000 contract. That ain't a $1 million contract. You see what I'm saying? But that's what's happening out here. So listen, no offense to any other, race or anything, but I'm saying this because these people keep coming in my inbox trying me like a baser. And it's upsetting, it's disrespectful. Do you know, here I am, I'm talking on these videos, and I may get 1 million to 1.5 million views a month. A video might get 5,000, 10,000, sometimes 20,000, sometimes more. How many ever views a video get? Do you know these company come to me? It's company come to me and say, yeah, we want you to post about our snacks or our product. I'm like, well, okay, well, how much do you pay? Well, we could offer you $200. $200? And you don't get out of here. Do you see the business I done built? What do you think $200 is going to do? All the time and energy I done put into building this YouTube channel, and you finna offer me $200? Oh, well, we could give you 10% of the sales. It's like, do you realize y'all took the Native American land? You think I'm finna trust your accounting? So now you think I'm finna expose your brand to an audience that I done blood, sweat, and tears to build for $200 and a possible payment on the back end? What do I look like? Do I look like I just got off the slave plantation yesterday? Obviously so. But that's how they doing us. And it's ridiculous. Listen, I'd rather make less money and own everything than make more money and own this much of it. Because eventually, if a record label could help me reach 1 million people, eventually I'm going to be able to reach that 1 million people on my own. Because it's my gift reaching that 1 million people and keeping that 1 million people, not marketing, not only marketing. Eventually, I'm going to be able to get there on my own. It might take me 10 times as long. They might could do it in a year. It might take me 10 years. But guess what? When I get there to that 10 years, then I'm making 10 million. And I get to have that 10 million. Versus getting there in 1 year and they making 10 million and I only get to see 1 million of it. Or I get to see 10 million of it, but they getting to see 200 million. You see what I'm saying? It's like, no, that it got to be a win-win. I understand y'all the establishment, y'all the big company, but it need to be fair, because it's my gift, it's my talent, it's my energy, it's my body, it's my life, it's my soul. if things go wrong, I'm the one that got to take the L. Whitney Houston died, not her record label. Michael Jackson died, not his record label. Prince died, not his record label. Amy Winehouse died, not her record label. You see what I'm telling you? Think about this now. Think about this. If you got to take the risk, you need the reward. And so you got to understand this. And it's hard. It's a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow now. And y'all forgive me for the offense that it may have caused, but I got to be real. Y'all forgive me. To my brother out there in Arizona, Caucasian brother who say he finna start watching my videos. I apologize if you wasn't expecting me to speak truth to power. God bless you. God bless everybody. This Saturday, we having a live class, Birth Your Book Live, where I'm teaching you how I take and write these here books, 200 plus pages. Write these here books in a week. I'm gonna give you my blueprint and what I do. Not to say that it's gonna work exactly for you. It might take you 30 days. It might take you a month. I mean, that's 30 days. It might take you 3 months. I write mine in a week, and I'm gonna tell you how I do it. And I'm speaking from a place of, I don't have a college degree. I'm not a literature major. But when you look this book up online, and you look this book up online on Amazon, you go to Amazon, they got 5-star reviews. So they quality, it's quality. If you done read it, you know it's quality work. And I wrote this in a week. So I'm gonna give you the blueprint this Saturday. It's separate. It's different from the online course that some of y'all already in, the Birth Your Book course. It's different from that. So this is a separate thing. If you want to be in the live one with the Q&A, then you got to sign up separately. You'll see it on TonyGaskinsAcademy.com. It's a Birth Your Book Live. I'll put the link in the description, actually. God bless y'all. We'll talk soon.